how to start a designated driver service business. If you type this in Google or YouTube, you've definitely come to the right video. This is going to be a breakdown, a review, an overview, alright, of some of my experiences with this specifically over the last 3.5 years, as well as just some things that I've picked up along the way on how to build a business that won't beat you up, alright, to save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Because when it comes to starting a business, looking at profit margins, looking at what you got to deal with, things you got to deal with, it can, if you're not aware with it, it can beat you up. Literally, it can feel like you're employed to your business. So you're going to want to pay close attention to this video. Whole purpose is just to kind of share with you kind of my experience and also review the business model so you can make an educated decision by the end of it. And when it comes to a designated driver service business, alright, for people who are intoxicated or just a designated driver, kind of like a chauffeur in a sense, when it comes to this business model, dealing with it is very simple. Getting it started is very simple. If you have a vehicle, once you register and license your business, and once you go through the proper legal requirements to actually operate the business, because it is considered, in depending on what state you're in, depending on what country you live in, whether it's Canada or United States or somewhere else, it depends on where you're located, but it usually falls in the laws of a taxi business as well, alright, because you are taking a human being and you're putting them to another destination that you're promising to take them to for a certain fee. Now, when it comes to this, alright, dealing with intoxicated people or just being a chauffeur in a sense, it's simple, but I'll tell you, having helped a friend who's done this before, a friend who had started their own designated driver service business, it's simple, but it can be kind of grunt work, alright? Unless you thoroughly enjoy, driving around all day long, alright? Unless you enjoy that, unless you enjoy dealing with supplies, equipment, employees, all the territory that goes with the business that you have to operate and maintain on a daily, weekly basis, which, just to let you know, from a business perspective, dealing with overhead like that, it decreases your income and increases your workload. So it's just something to be aware of. It's one of the reasons why my friend actually walked away from his designated service business. It's not to say it's a bad business, but he was looking more so at it as a franchised opportunity. He wanted to franchise out, but he just didn't have the budget set aside to do that, so it kind of beat him up. So that's just my experience, my story with this. Now, if you're looking at starting a designated driver service business because you want to be your own boss, you want to create time, freedom, leverage, if that's really what you're looking for, and you're not looking at it from a franchise perspective, you don't want to franchise out the business, I would advise you, before you consider starting this type of business, before you head down this path to save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, alright, I've got a lead I want to throw your way, and you're going to want to pay attention to this because this can save you like a lifetime of stress and anxiety. And my story with this goes back about a year ago when I transitioned from a traditional business dealing with all the things required with a designated driver service business, equipment, supplies, employees, except I wasn't driving around all the time. But I went from that, and I came across a person who was building a business on the internet. Now, the internet is not the only way to go when it comes to building a business, but get this. This person was not dealing with any equipment, any supplies, or any of that overhead, building right from their laptop, their business, without creating their own products, without doing anything technical like learning HTML coding to build a website, and without doing any of that stuff, making more money every month than I was making in a whole year. Having time freedom, location freedom to operate anywhere in the world to build their business where there's internet connection, and leverage. And because they were doing that, I reached out to them for help, got it, and in less than a month was able to walk away from corporate America, walk away from my traditional businesses, and create a full-time income. And I haven't looked back since. And those aren't average or typical results. I'm not guaranteeing you the same results. Just like with any business, you got to work your butt off, you got to learn stuff. And if you're not going to do that, business is just not right for you. Or if you're looking to get rich quick, business is not right for you. But before you consider starting a designated driver service business, if and only if you're looking at this because you want to build a business to create time freedom, to do what you want, when you want, if that's what you're looking for, learn to build a business on the internet, alright, where you can increase your profit margins and increase your income and decrease your overhead and your workload. Not saying there's no work, there's always work required, alright? You always got to work in a business, you always got to learn things. But that's just from my experience, and that's just my 2 cents and my tips. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as they put it together for you. And if you're following me here and this made sense to you and you'd like to learn more information at the end of this video about how to build a business, make sure to check out my site if you're coachable, willing to work, willing to learn. It's 123marketingtips.com, and I'll see you on the beach of the world. And take care, my friend.